Hello my viewers, my name is Golden Boy and I'm really grateful that you have always supported this channel. Now guys, there's a trouble in paradise. You all remember there's a time there's a woman who was killed was murdered in Gambia. So it's also the same situation that is has been happening in most of the countries in Africa. Now today's video we want to focus on this woman who was murdered in Ghana. And guys, I want you to listen to this situation, then we'll come back and I'll try to explain what is really happening in motherland Africa.
It's another distressing video we've got to do today. Today we're talking about a sister over in Ghana. Recently we've spoken about the difficulties brothers and sisters have had over there in purchasing land, only to find that the land is disputed by local people. And now, the new story, a sister has been found unalive. The sister's name is Naomi JL. Naomi JL. Now, according to the local press, local media, she's an 80-year-old woman. They don't have her name. They said that she was a Ghanaian person residing in America. That's not true. She was an American sister residing in Ghana. She was living in an area called Ninesi, I think it was. I'll put the name of it up here. Once I get some data, I can look it up again. I'll put it up here. She was in that area, and she was in a relationship with a man from Togo. Boom, here's what happens. She's deleted and she is and they dispose of her in the back garden. Alright? Dispose of her in her own back garden and leave her there. Now there's a gap in the story because somehow the two men who have been accused of doing this crime, they were caught driving her two cars. So she has two cars. One's a Mini Cooper, the other one's a Toyota. It's like a Toyota Starlet. It looks like a Toyota Starlet to me. Small cars.
Grand Rising. I just got some really heartbreaking news, and I wanted to come to you guys to talk about it, and we need to share as much as possible. There was a diasporan woman here, or woman from the diaspora, however you want to look at it. I met her literally just like a month or so ago, maybe more, and then I think I saw her about 2 weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. So I met her maybe at least more than a month ago, but saw her at least 2 to 3 weeks ago. And it's bothering me to find out that she was discovered murdered behind her home, buried behind her home, and supposedly it happened by maybe a partner that she chose or someone that was close enough to her. When I got the news, I literally, my chest has been hurting. As you guys know, I've been going through a lot here, and I'm not talking about small little, stuff. I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood, so growing up in the hood prepares you for a lot of shit. Not kidding. Even growing up in the hood, you're not prepared for the fuckery here. It's on a different level of stupid. And it's, like I said, it's really breaking my heart. And I saw, I can't remember the sister's name, if it was TikTok or one of those, you know how we pass around all these different videos, it just goes and comes. But she talked a bit about how we've normalized poverty, and feel free to put your video speed on 2 times, because sometimes I slow down and sometimes I talk really fast. But essentially she was talking about how people have normalized poverty, and I've said that a long time ago. So I will share some of the things about me because it makes this more poignant to those who get it. I mean, this is really bothering me, yo. I grew up in foster care and group homes. I left my mom when I was 9, and I didn't age out of the system. I aged out of the system when I turned 18 and had graduated from high school. My mother was a crack addict, a hardcore crack addict. and my dad was not around because he had his own family. I literally have worked my ass off. Not kidding. I worked my ass off. And I know poverty better than most people, but because of the way I look, most people will not ever have an idea of that. And so that's why I said I would share this with you guys, because we need to have this talk, because clearly we have this romanticized idea of when I don't use romanticize, I'm being sarcastic and bringing awareness to this idea that because we see someone that looks well kept and well put together, etc., we make the assumption, not me, but average people will make the assumption that, one, I'm spoiled, and then I've been well taken care of by random whatever. They have no fucking idea how hard I've had to work. You know, one of the really messed up things is when you grow up in the Black community and you're a nerd, you get bullied. And I don't mean small, you get bullied. And that was me. So part of my challenge growing up also was because my mom was such a hardcore crack addict. My mom sold our food stamps. My mom literally was one of them. She sold our food stamps, and I had to go to my neighbors to beg for food. And Chloe, who lived next door to me, I grew up in West Oakland, and this old lady, she was like a mulatto, lived next door to us. And I used to have to go and beg her for food. And as a child, I think even then I had a little bit of pride. I would go and ask her to borrow eggs or borrow this or borrow that. And she was like, get your little black ass in here. You know, come on in here, eat. Because she knew what my mom was doing. She knew what my mom was doing. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm gonna post this video anyway, because people need to hear this shit. I grew up impoverished like nobody would ever believe. And what's really crazy is because when people see me now, they have no idea how hard I've had to work to get to where I'm at. And I did it not being on my back. I did it without being on my back. So to get here to a place like Ghana and other countries I go to, I meet so many different type of people whose lives they're literally doing better than me, but somehow I owe them something. So fade out, fade in. I'm looking at these people who have family homes. I'm meeting people who haven't had jobs in years, but yet their belly isn't empty. Let that sink in. Haven't had jobs in years, but their belly is never empty and they have a roof over their heads. Meanwhile, I'm here and getting bent over ass right damn near every time I go out to get anything, because people assume that I have it. This O'Bruni money shit don't finish. This O'Bruni this, O'Bruni that. This is not fucking funny. And we've had too many people coming here, dying and getting murdered suspiciously, all for this money grab that people somehow think we have just tons of money. And supposedly this is said just finished building her house, and that seems to be the issue, is once you build your house, get your land and build your house, suddenly you mysteriously end up dead. Mysteriously. But like I said, these people are the same folks that's out here robbing and killing us, are the same ones that got family homes, that have something to eat, have a roof over their head always, whether they're working or not. They're being taken care of and fed some way, somehow. But you're jacking and killing people who've come. See, so me and my brother, we was talking about, and I was going to do a separate video, and I made a comment about how much is enough. You literally got people coming here to Ghana, building schools, building roads, getting access, creating access to water, creating these NGOs to give funding for school children. What do you call it? Health fairs. When I say there's so much giving, it's ridiculous. But what do we get in return? What protections do we have? So this is something that needs to be discussed. We have nothing coming in. There's no reciprocity. So this is why I posed this question to the community. You got all these people talking, oh, you just haven't met the right people. Okay. So all these people that's been here 30 years, they ain't meet the right people either. They're not connected or not. Like, why are we still dealing with this shit? With all of these so-called diasporans somewhere around that's been here all these years, where's the protection? Where's the help? Where's the support? Where's the, you know, I mean, this is where I said we need some Don Corleone shit type for real, where I can go and sit at your feet and I can come and give you my problems and let you know what it is, and, you know, put the little cotton balls in your cheek and be like, okay, you know, I'll take care of it. Where's that motherfucker that's word is bond and he's taking care of the shit, instead of all these milquetoast sermon ass niggas got all these great speeches, and then when we leave, ain't nothing happening. Everything is still the fucking same. Where are these people that everybody keeps imagining is there? They're imaginary friends. These people are... There needs to be protections for our sisters and our men. If y'all listening, your sisters need you whether you're married to them or not. You remember that Jill Scott song, We Need You? We need y'all to... You don't have to be married to a sister to show support for her, check in on her, look out for her. I grew up in a time where people actually jumped in conversations, like especially when shit didn't look right. I'm not saying you got to jump in every conversation, every situation, but right now we're in a point where sisters need protection. And honestly, this shit hurt my feelings when I just got this information. I need people to stop looking at diasporans. All you people trolling my page and on my whatever, looking at diasporans as money bags, you need to go back to your community and have this discussion. I met an O'Bruni today and she said she had it harder than most Ghanaians she's met. I have. Even though I don't look like it, I have. And that's on God, I have. So y'all need to stop this bullshit of thinking that just because somebody was born in the US that we're just rolling around in money, that we got a money tree out back and we can just go and pick money, or we got a well, we can just go and get a bucket and scoop all the money up. Stop thinking that stupid shit. Like, honestly, where do you guys come up with these dumbass thoughts anyway?
They were both caught driving from the town she's from towards Kumasi. The police found them with a laptop in one of the cars and 10,000 dinar. The dinar is, it's dinar dirham. I think it's dinars. 10,000 dinar, which is a Iraqi currency, which is worth $7.50, $7.37, something really small, tiny. 10,000 dinar is worth $7. It's nonsense money. Now, in the news report, they said it was due to some intelligence of the police of these two men. I don't know what kind of intelligence. I don't know what kind of intelligence it is that someone's going to do their crime, jump in a car, drive to another town, and before they get to the other town, the police are like, "You stop, come with me," and take them to the police. Unless there was a third person involved, and that third person decided to remove his competition by telling the police what was going on. You see, I was gonna do a video about our relationships, the relationships that we curate when we're over here in West Africa, and now we have to be smarter about it. We've got to be smarter about it. We cannot come here thinking that everything is gravy and that everything is fine. No, it's not. Take out of your mind all that talk about, you know, go to Africa, come home to Africa. It's not your home. It's not. Sorry to burst your bubble. But lots of people tell you come home to Africa, they've not been to Africa. Not recently anyway. The best way I could describe it is, this is a house you used to live in. This is a house you grew up in. And you've come back years later on to look in your house and just leave in your house. Unfortunately, the people who live in that house now are like, "Yo, this is my yard. What are you doing here?" I've spoken about the need for brothers to protect our sisters. And I was expecting some pushback from the brothers. I was expecting brothers to be like, "No, that's not my job. No, I'm not doing it. No, they don't deserve it." So on and so forth. "Oh, you're an idiot for saying this." That's what I was expecting back. But what I got back surprised me. What I got back was from the sisters telling me, don't tell men to protect women. We don't want it. We don't need it. Don't even talk about the people who've passed away. Like, sisters, you're going to have to really care about your own safety. You've got to care about it. You've got to. So look, the biggest sin that I can see is poverty. The biggest sin that I see is poverty. It's not, you know, there's lots of other things that go on, you know, like, you know, and and cheating on your wife or cheating on your husband or whatever. Lots of stuff like that go on. All sins. But when it comes to poverty, poverty will cause you to do these other things as well. So it's an original sin. It's not good. And unfortunately, the way this world is set up is that all the funds, all the money, all the income goes to very, very few people over in the West. And the crumbs are mal-distributed among the rest of us, with Africa at the brunt of it. So if the government class are still poor, if there is one man called Elon Musk, or one man called Jeff Bezos, or one man called Bill Gates, who all have money individually more than whole countries on this continent, there's a problem. And that's poverty mindset that runs the country will continue down to the man on the street, down to the woman on the street. So we've got to be very careful. We've got to be very super careful. The things that you think is not smart, like, you know, if I saw a sister with a Toyota Starlet as a car, I'm not going to be like, wow, I'm not going, it's not going to bother me. But if you are living in a country where only the rich and famous have cars, have decent cars, a car with a decent paint job, a car with all its windows, and you got two of them, you will stand out. If you own a house, you will stand out. Don't be taking people to your yard, please. Don't take people to your house. Don't do that. If you want to be seeing a young man or something, or a young woman or whatever your thing is, go by taxi. Meet them in a taxi, go to where you're going, and say goodbye on the road. Start there. Take your time. Talk about how hard it is in this country called wherever you are. Lay down your financial income. Even if your financial income is just a government pension. Because these people stole $7 from this woman. They didn't know what it was. They saw 10,000 dinar. I was like, 10,000 must be something. No, not necessarily. So let's be smarter about how we do this thing, okay? Yeah, it's lovely here. It's really nice. And there's some really, really nice people here, some really cool people. That's not everybody. So don't kind of consider that, you know, you've come home and you want to be free and you want to, you know, you want to give away to the children, you want to give to poor people, you want to, because when people see that, that is a target on your back right there. You don't need that. I hope this video finds you well. If you are coming over to West Africa, be smart about it. This is your brother Murd, and until next time, you take care of yourself.
Yes, it is so unfortunate that a lot of women, Black American women, usually get murdered, poisoned, unalived, as you can term them. And it is not only happening even in Ghana, like even in our country, there have always been a femicide. A lot of women are usually killed every week. So I don't want to defend that Ghana is the only country, that Ghana and Gambia is the only country that this thing is happening. Now, if you are someone, you will see that you have had a lot of extreme cases, especially in Gambia. Now, there is so much large problem than we think that on the surface. Why is there so much mindset of greediness, poverty, and openly taking advantage of our own people, that is the Black American people? So why is it so normal to have to pay people to simply do their jobs? Why? Like, why is it so? Why are people normalizing to pray 5 times a day, but then cheat their brother a few minutes later? Like, you kill your brother. So these are, I'm talking about countries which usually pray, so Islamic, yeah. Why is it that Ramadan magically washes away sins and then you can start the same wickedness all over again? Why? Anyway, so I disagree there's a conversation but we need to think about this. Like, does this series and people talk about their issues to bring awareness? And that we have the dialogue between our cousins, that is the Black American women and men. Now, if you're someone who have always been in my channel, you'll see that there's been a lot of murder cases in Africa. Like, people usually get killed. Like in this situation, this woman was murdered because of $7. So I wonder, why are you taking someone's life because of $7? Why? Is $7 more worthy than the life of that individual? Now I'm being told that these men were arrested after 24 hours after this happened. Now, have you noticed that these sisters who are being deleted by some men were involved? So first thing is that Africa has a cultural traditionals and beliefs. So sleeping with a man without being married traditionally is always a red flag. Like, if you are not being introduced to a family, or to that man's family, or to your family, or to his communities, then it's not what you want. However, sisters don't want a traditional man, so they sex up with men, and the same result as in the West. So I send my prayers to these women and to this woman and family. Like, but this is something that the sin thing, sex without marriage, is a sin. Why these sisters still not getting the point here? Like, I'm listening to this video and it causes so much emotional feeling, like which is not a good thing. Like, what are the differences in skin color, the text of the hair, when it comes to the African Americans and the Africans in the continent? There are different shades of skin colors. The only difference is the way we talk. Why Africans Americans were sold and shackled like animals, packed on a slave ship and brought to the country. So our roots are there. Almighty God made us of the same materials humanity is in general, no matter what color He chooses to color the outside of the world. One thing we can be sure of is, whether you believe it or not doesn't matter, and that without Christ we will not get into the kingdom of God. Now, these are the things that people are trying to notice, to talk about. Like, there's been a lot of discernment used when dating these men. So to my African women, I have seen my African American women, or the Black American women, I've seen a lot of videos where a lot of women are getting deleted, and these women have also always complained so much about what is really happening in Africa. And one of the things that they have always complained is about the governments. Like, there's a lot of corruption. Now, in a country where there's lawlessness, to mean that the government don't take that situation very quickly, and there are no direct government and its people. So that is a country that is lawless, where people just do their things freely, anyhowly, sinfully, and the government won't catch up with them. So in a country like that, I don't believe that you need to be very rude. I don't believe that you need to be very uncultured. I don't believe to be very do your bad things. Like in the Western countries, like, there need to be a spirit of discernment used when dating these men. Like, it is not like the US and women who go to the continent with no covering and have a Western mentality. It is just a ripe of disaster. So communities is the key. We can go further together. In the US, we can go solo. In Africa, we have to become one in spiritually awakening and socially, economically change. That has no stake in us. Like, you'll find that Africa has become so cruel to the Black Americans and to even its visitors. Like, we have always taken the advantages of these people, that they have money. A lot of people will explain to you, will tell you this, that a lot of Africans are taking advantages of the Black American, and not only the Black American women, they are also taking advantages of Black American men. and not the Black American men. The people who come from the European countries are usually believed to be people who have money. And even into my perspective, I usually believe that these people have money. So this is just a pure evil. Like, there's a lot of envy at its best. You'll find that someone may poison you so that he can inherit your wealth, or he can take the belongings which you came with here in Africa. Now, I don't have much to talk about in this video, but I'm really sorry that it happened to Ghana, and this thing happened long time ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks. So that is almost 1 month, and it was not surfacing. The only person who surfaced is this woman who is talking, and even this man who has always dedicated his videos to us and show us what is really happening in these both continents. Now, I'm not saying that it is only happening in the central and even the western countries. It is also happening in Africa, in the eastern sides. Like, yeah, in Africa, it is very dangerous. Like, people are being deleted every day. The moment you go against the government, the moment you do this and then, you'll find yourself in the river, flawless, lifeless. So I'm not here indicating by saying that no, that these two countries have always have murder cases. No, I'm not saying that. I'm only trying to give that these are the things which I'm only trying to lament, things that are only happening to the black communities, that is the Black Americans and even the foreigners. And that is all about this channel. I hope you will enjoy this video, and thanks for watching this video. My name is Golden Boy. See you in another episode. Salute.